Good evening. I call to order the Monroe Public School Board of Education work session. Today is Tuesday, March 10th, 2026, and the time is 5:30. Jamie, can we have a roll call, please?
Yes, Mr. Heck.
Here.
Mr. Jenkins.
Here.
Ms. Myers.
Here.
Mr. Sabadini.
Here.
Mrs. Tarasi.
Here.
Mrs. Vincent.
Here.
Mrs. Williams.
We please stand for the pledge. Before we begin, please note that this meeting is being live streamed and recorded. There are two cameras in use this evening, one focused on the Board of Education and another one that may be used during the public commentary or presentations. By participating in this meeting, you acknowledge that you may be captured on video. Thank you for your understanding for joining us tonight. If you do want to participate in the public commentary, please fill out a form that's back by the door there and hand it in to Jamie, our administrative assistants. And again, board members, please make sure you're speaking to the mics because we may have people in the overflow. And that also for the people standing in the back, it is being also broadcast into the conference room around the back there. Okay, next up are discussion items, and I'll turn it over to Superintendent Shaw.
All right. Well, wonderful. Well, good evening, everybody. So tonight we have Tom Bell and Leah Morelli with us, and they're going to talk about our Trojan Build. Five. Tom? 7? Is it 8? 9? There we go. Thank you. 6 or 7. I appreciate that one. So tonight they're going to talk about the status of our build, next steps with it, and then even the next plan for our next build too. It's 5. Okay.
So, good evening. I'm Leah Morelli. I'm the CTE director. Thanks for having us here tonight to give you an update. This is the time of year when we usually come in, let you know how things are wrapping up with the current build and some visioning for the next build and what will be coming forward for approval in the coming meetings. But there's no pictures intentionally because when we do the reveal of the build, it's pretty special. So you've got to see little peeks of it. If you drive by, you can see the outside, obviously. And I showed you some pictures of the inside with the students in some previous presentations, but we like it to be a little bit of a surprise. So that's intentional. But some good news for the program that we have in the request numbers for next year. The request numbers for the advanced section, which is the section that participates in the build with Mr. Bell, are larger than normal. So we're looking at how to actually get a fourth group of students involved with the build next year, which is really exciting. It doesn't get any more real world than going and building a home, right? And he does such a great job with it. And Mr. Marchese does such a great job preparing the students to go into this part of the program. So I am going to let Tom talk about where he is with the build and what the vision is for the next one. And then I'll take questions when he's done.
Thank you. As Ms. Morelli said, I'm Tom Bell, the construction trades instructor that handles the Trojan Build. So we are on Trojan Build 6. This year will be a completion year. So it is the whole 6, 7. That's fun, isn't it? Oh my gosh. This year's house, yeah. This year's house will offer 1,800 square foot ranch, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. It has a full basement. We talking with our realtor as well as John Taft, who handles our appraisals and stuff. Always trying to catch the trends. What are asking Nini, what are people saying when they walk into a house? What is the stuff that they're saying, I love it, and what is the stuff, oh my God, I hate this? So this year a little bit different. We're running the vinyl plank flooring instead of just the main part of the house, but we're running it into the master bedroom as well. All the kitchen appliances have been picked out. The house has a 2-car garage, and it will have some smart features like an Ecobee thermostat, which is something that you could control from your phone, which is really nice. I have one in my home. Days like yesterday when it ended up being much warmer than what was predicted, you could literally turn everything off from your phone or turn it on, or when your wife turns it up and you don't want it up, and you could turn it back down from the couch and not tell her. We are, but I know my wife is not here and she is at a concert, so I don't think she's watching. I think I'm safe, but it's a great feature to have. The Ring doorbell, the garage door openers from about 4 years ago on, they all have the capability of being able to open and operate from your phone. You can look on your phone to see if it's shut, up, down, which is really nice. And then the front door will have a smart feature where you can use a key or you can use a keypad to enter or lock the house. Trojan Build 6 has had about 90 students working on the house from last year and this year. We have 3 classes working throughout the day. So we have the buses coming to get our classes 3 times during the day. The students usually on a build will start after the foundation and work all the way through until it's done. In past years, we are literally working Trojan 1, we worked on the last day of school. So whatever it takes to get it done, we're out there working on it. We've got many sponsors and donors that work with our program. So I can't say enough and say thank you enough to these sponsors like Stone Co., who donates all of our stone products for all of our foundations and stuff. Carter Lumber, they donate all the exterior studs and some of the trim work on the inside of the house. Local 671, which is a local plumbers and pipe fitters union. I've gotten matched up with Justin McManaway. It's been about 4 years now, and he has been just a great asset to have. He works so well with the students. He will come out. He's worked with the students installing some gas line stuff this year. In the past, like last year when we were in the rough end stage, he would work, have him and an apprentice come out and work with the students doing some stuff. And we've already talked this year with working with our students again. It's kind of a twofold. Not only does Local 671 work with us, but it gives them an opportunity to come into a real life setting and not work on something that's just going to have to get torn apart for the next class. Meaning they have their second year apprentices will come out, not sure which night it is, but they will work at the house. I have heard in the past there will be sometimes 20 trucks down the street because these men and women, whoever's in that second year apprenticeship, will be at the house, working at the house from 5 o'clock to 10 o'clock at night. So it really is a great partnership, and I really can't say thanks enough to Justin and Local 671. They've just been great. Lillian Cabinets, they give us 50% off our cabinets. All of the cabinets are an RTA, so it's a ready to assemble. So there still is quite a bit of work that's done. So when you see the cabinets at the unveiling, yes, the cabinets were theoretically built maybe by a CNC machine. A lot of the fronts are done by CNC machines, but the cabinet itself is still put together. And it does take a special touch for the students to go through and to build all these cabinets. Not only build them, but then set them per the layout and everything else. Sieb Heating and Cooling does all of our heating and cooling. And then Jacobs Supply, they always donate. We don't get a lot of stuff from them, but they are always willing to donate. They're a great company to work with. Currently, right now, we have all the trim in the house. We are to the point, matter of fact, today I canceled the last bus so that way we can change gears. We're to the point where we need to paint our interior doors. They're at the shop. And then all of the interior trim needs to get sprayed. And then students will be back for all the final touches, second coat of paint on walls, any last little bit of sanding and stuff like that. Knobs on doors, just all the little stuff. We do have some stuff on the outside to finish, like the rock There is some siding that needs some attention, and we still need to finish some siding. The front door is not set. I usually just set a door, and imagine, 45 sets of people walking through that door 5 days a week. So having the real door gets some major abuse. So I always try to hold off until the very, very end to protect that door. Usually I can set it up where when it's warm enough, I'll actually have the overhead door opener installed that time, and we'll actually just be entering through the house that way. I just usually just tell the students the front door is off limits. Don't go in and out it. If I tell them again that we have to have the paper under the base for spraying of the trim, or if they're gonna sand anything else, they might actually try to get rid of me one way or the other. They are definitely done sanding. They don't want to caulk anymore. They don't want to clean up anymore. Stick a fork in them. They are literally done. They are ready for a transitional period. I can't thank transportation enough. I will either text or email Patty throughout the day. Sometimes we get caught by a train, which we're close enough to the tracks where we can usually hear it. But like today, I pivoted, literally I was out with my second class and I'm thinking, we're done. I don't like to bring a class out when there's nothing to do and there's a ton of stuff to do at the shop. Servicing tools, putting stuff away when we're taking stuff back out of the house to get put back away in my shop for future students. So it's just a simple send her an email and Patty, we're going to cancel the buses for my last class and the rest of the week. We're going to pivot. And she just, right away got it. I can't thank them enough because it's not an easy job for her to keep track of us as well as all of the other stuff that they handle throughout the district. Lastly, we do have Trojan 7 almost figured out. I've been working with a current student. He was just in here a couple weeks ago, Gary Whitehouse the third. And we've been going through a few ideas, and he is in the class with Mrs. Pillarelli where he has the tools with her computers and her software to actually take our ideas and put it on, put the ink to the paper. He's done a phenomenal job. It's another ranch where it'll be a split ranch where the master suite is completely separate from the other two bedrooms. So the parents will have a lot of privacy in the house. We look forward to building it. It should be it doesn't look anything like the other ones, which I don't really like cookie cutters. And so I'll be excited to build that house next year. And look forward to all of you, whoever can make it out to the unveiling. We haven't set the date. We usually try to figure out exactly when the house will be done. And then working around graduation, which I know that we take a backseat to graduation, which I'm totally fine with. That's such an important time, and the high school is so busy at that time. So if it is right after high school or right after the graduation, that's fine. It might be done and waiting for us to do the unveiling, but hope to see everyone there so that you guys can see all the hard work from the students.
I can give a little more insight on some of the timeline. What we hope is that it might be on the market before the open house this year. Typically, the open house night is the night that it goes on the market. Yeah. But this year, our goal is to actually have it on the market and have some showings before we bring the students and their families in to do the ribbon cutting. And he's pretty on track with that. It'll depend on some of the finished work materials that are still ordered, making sure that they come in on time. But the work that Tom and the students are doing right now is way ahead of where they typically would be in the years that we did the 1 year build. Which brings up the other thing that I would like to say also. We originally did a 2 year build because they were also building the CTE storage building. But what we found out in this process is that a 2 year build is actually much more workable with students, with timelines, with ordering materials, with allowing Tom to be in the shop and do some very meaningful projects with the students and do some community service projects with the students that they can't fit in on a one-year build. So moving forward, the proposals will typically be a 2-year build. I think we've decided from here on out, which is kind of how most schools usually do it. Sometimes they will end one and start another depending on the time of the year, and if the foundations can get dug and it can get buttoned up before the end of the school year, like a year and a half or whatever. And we kicked that out around a little bit, but I think that a 2-year is going to be great because he's talked about possibly doing deck projects or shed projects or other smaller projects that aren't a whole build or more community service work. So when we do come to you with the proposals for Trojan Build 7, it'll be a 2-year intentionally for those reasons.
All right, so back to the timeline. Please correct me. Okay, but June 9th is our board meeting in June, so we're really targeting that night to do our,
Have an offer.
to have an offer and have it approved. Okay, and so that would be the night that we're targeting right now to line everything up so that the open house, everything's done, bring a recommendation to the board for the sale of this home. And then either at that time or most likely probably in May, Trojan Build 7 would come in front of you for approval. There. So I would like to open up before I go take care of a couple other things on this one. Are there any questions for Tom while they're standing right there?
So we're a big fan. We support what you do. I think you do a fantastic job. I think the fact that these students walk out with the skills and abilities they do is a testament to what you two put into it, and I'm sure others in your team as well. But I don't have any questions. I just say well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How many more do we have room for in town site? Two?
Two.
Two more. Okay.
So we have to start looking for property.
Yeah. Well, I think we have property.
We might know some people, right?
Okay.
I concur with what Darla said. It will be nice to see us move from town site to maybe a little different type of location. Because I think we've talked about affordable housing in Monroe in general. So that will be nice to see us, make that part of the consideration. And the second question I had, you're talking about community projects. Are we still doing the Sleep in Heavenly Peace bed build? I thought that was in April.
It's March already.
I thought
Yeah,
we were
it
doing
was,
something
no,
else.
it,
If I caught you
was.
off guard, then I'm.
last year I had my knee replaced. And then this year I had some unfortunate stuff happen. And the year's just gotten away from me, but, it's not something that we can't do. We will probably finish the house early, so it will open up, something that we could work out with them. It's just, I'm guilty of right now. We're literally at that finish line, and I'm sure you've seen so many people celebrate before they cross it, and someone will come in and now
He's
they're
pretty
second place.
superstitious. He doesn't do that.
You're pitching a no-hitter? You got a no-hitter going? in
I'm a
the
little
sixth inning?
stitious, but my mind right now is a tractor beam on just finishing the house. And the students, if they're here, can tell you there's things that will happen. It's like, nope, I don't like the way it looks. I want it done different. It needs to look like this. And it's just like I've drilled into their head. This house doesn't get sold saying, well, students build this, so that wall's just going to be 4 inches on a plumb. It's just our houses still go through all of the rigorous inspections and everything. Our inspector at the township, he'll be there a couple hours. The electrical inspector will check every single outlet, fire or smoke alarm. They go through that with a fine-tooth comb. And the house has to look like a traditional brand-new house. There isn't a sign on the door. Typically, and I haven't heard of one except for Trojan 2, which was COVID year, and it just was a weird year. But every house is the people that buy it come in and say, I had no idea that this house was built by students. So right now I'm just focused on finishing strong. And so that way when people come to see the house, the students can sit back and smile and say, yeah, I built that. We'll have the students back. We'll be out, let them know if they can come back and see the house done. So there might be many, many students and many families there. So,
Yeah, I saw an email today, and one of the points of the email was a lot of kids don't perform well at school because they don't sleep at night. And Sleep in Heavenly Peace really brought that to me. I had no idea.
Yeah.
The first time I went to do this, I'm like, you're kidding me. I walked into a house and there's no bed in the kid's room. And I'm like, it's, so if at all possible,
Yeah,
I'd
no.
love to see it happen.
No,
But I get you. I hear what you're saying.
I have not forgotten. It is definitely just right behind me on the back burner. It just is funny because this year, over the summer, I had seen some Facebook posts and stuff about that, and I had told my wife, I said, I'd really like to do something like that. That'd be a really cool community outreach that we can do. And it was weird. It was almost like Tom had heard me, because then it was literally like Mr. Shaw had gotten with me and said, hey, I talked with Mr. Heck, and he had kind of suggested, I said, I just talked about this last week. But, so I guess great minds think alike, so, but we definitely will, this is the kind of stuff that we want to do. I want to be able to showcase my students, other than going into competitions, and like what we did last year. And we kidded around, they said they were nervous, how do you think we're going to place? And I, kiddingly, a little bit, we're not going here to be second, and they took first, but I love for when my students can showcase the stuff that they've learned for the community, and it benefits the community. So we definitely will get to stuff like that this year, if not for sure next year.
And he shifted a little bit up, well, it was a 4-week shift to fit the Santa House build in there too. So that shifted
Oh,
things
yeah,
around a little
true.
bit.
Yeah.
But do you know what kind of time frame that organization needs to be able to like set it up?
don't really know.
If one of you could maybe
They
check
just
on
had,
that and
they
let us
just had an
know.
event a week ago, I think it was, yeah.
If one of you guys could,
Like,
if you could just share with Mr. Shaw, and he can get me a contact, and then that way I can get with that person, so that way we can get something on the books.
If it doesn't happen until next fall, that's still.
I really think we can make it happen, because it's not, we're equipped for it. We've got the bodies for it, and I think that they would really like doing it. I just need to get it on, get it in the books.
Just for an FYI, they even have jobs that people like me can do. So,
All right, well, I won't talk to them about that yet. I swear, if they sand one more day, just don't
Don't
want to
threaten
sand.
them with a good time.
No, I know.
Thank you for the
Thank you.
kind words.
So-
Any other questions?
So before they sit down, as a reminder, when it comes to the work that they do, because of the, wait, switch. There we go.
one more.
The, from a budgetary side and from the sales, they moved, and all of the volunteerism and what the companies have been doing has made it so that the storage building that is out there now is being paid for through these sales. That they actually have enough money so that the district isn't having to take and do have startup money. That was done years ago. So they've moved to that space in this work, and so they can actually add on to things at in the construction out there at the high school. So appreciate all that work and those relationships you've built, and really also I think too with what you're teaching our kids to that attention to detail and how important it matters, and just how those little things in a house build will make the difference when somebody goes in there to buy their house, and or when they go to do stuff in their own homes too. So
Well,
appreciate
and
that.
we were just talking before we walked in here about how he's the face that comes and talks to you, because we're typically talking to you about the final product of the build. But Andy Marchese, as his teaching partner in the program, is fantastic. And
Yes,
them working together is what makes all of it possible. So kudos to Andy if he's watching tonight.
Yes, very much so. Thanks for having us.
All right, well, thank you so very much.
Let me make an announcement.
Yes.
Just for the people in the back, again, this is being broadcast into the conference room around the corner. So if you want to sit while you're listening, you're certainly welcome to go into that room.
All right. So the next item was I wanted to go over was the 2026 enhancement millage. That, and for everyone that's paying a close attention on this, that's the tech millage, okay? So it is an enhancement, and that is a renewal. So the first thing that was emailed out to you is a document called the Campaign Finance Act. It's kind of basically the rules of how we have to operate. And I'm going to open with this one. It's really simple. We always talk about the facts. We're always safe. As your superintendent, as I go through here, I have to be very cautious because if I move off of facts and start talking about a yes vote or something like that while I'm on company time, that's a bad position. And so, but as a board member, we're going to go through these. Oh, did I give you the one that's highlighted? Thank you. I did. Okay, where are my notes? Great job. Thank you. So some of you guys will be with us tomorrow night to go over this.
My copy.
Yeah.
Who's got Andy's highlighted copy?
It will be this one right here. There we go. So, appreciate that. So the first is, for example, can the Board of Education, our Board of Education took a vote a few months ago to have the county put it up for election this May. Boards of Education or other boards can take action, resolution to support a vote. That is a permissible item. Talking again about what the superintendent can do, I can only speak during my working hours. That basically is a lot of the time about not about the yes vote, but more about all the facts surrounding it. So the date, the amounts, what it does. Employees of Monroe Public Schools, while they're on company time, facts only. Off of company time, then they can speak about a yes vote or do anything of that sort. But it has to be very distinct that they're on their time in doing so. As a board member, though, you have the freedom to speak about it in any way, shape, or form, okay? And so that you do have that ability there. When it comes to general fund monies, so how, can Monroe Public Schools support this enhancement millage? And we can through factual information, okay? And so, for example, like this document right here was created by the Monroe ISD, okay? And this is all facts on here. So the date, what it does, and then how it's all, a lot of old information here. Now, this document is permitted to be created by the ISD and or Monroe Public Schools could have created because it's based on all facts. Just like if we want to put a communication out in a newsletter, stick to the facts on it. So that way it's educating everyone what it's about, the dates, but not going into, for example, why. Once we cross that line, then we're into a space that we cannot be. And so, talk about employees. I'm happy we've got employees here. This is a big one. May I wear a button or T-shirt to school or to a school-sponsored event while on duty that says vote yes or vote no? And that is a big no, okay? So for all of our employees, if you come to an event and you're there working and you have on a vote yes or vote no, that's a big no, you can't do that. But the other part being is, as employees, don't put yourself into a position where am I on the job or not on the job? Because in reality, if you're there at for example, we'll call it a basketball game, and you're there to watch, some people still view that you're in the capacity of being an employee and there to as in and doing things. So when in doubt, always stick to the facts with it. And it is the safest ground that we can all live on because the facts are very, very simple to live with. And so, but as employees and everyone, we can always help with the factual side of this campaign here. And then a couple other things. As a superintendent, am I responsible for responding to questions of the community and even from people that might be on the vote yes or vote no? Yes, I am. I have to communicate. So if someone asks me something, I need to provide that information. And so if a vote yes or a vote no group requests that. I'm not going through every single one because everyone in this room can read. And it's really more of a highlight because I know we have some board members that will not be able to attend tomorrow night. And where the ISD is going to go a lot more in depth on all of this. But that I want to get to this point for you is it's really simple. When we look at Monroe Public Schools and all that has been done for us when it comes to this, it's on the technology side, it has made it so that we've been a one-to-one. But I think the bigger thing is it's made it so our county is one of the leaders in having technology available and bringing in the internet. And so we have those supports there. and it's allowed us to think, be forward-thinking in what we've done. But understand too that this is just a renewal. There is nothing, it's not being, this is something that's not new. In fact, this was put together back in the 90s, and it was actually, right now, it was one of the first three, or it was the very first enhancement millage that was put on. So I want to open up to my board. Is there any particular questions you have? I know some will be answered further tomorrow night, but I'd love to just address them now as far as like your role or anything like that that can be clarified.
It covers 5 years, right?
Yes, ma'am, it does.
Okay.
Yep.
Just for the record.
Yep, it's a 5-year.
And how many mills is it?
It's a 1 mil, but because of the Headley override, it's less than a mil. The other part being too is, it is a 5-year. They learned after the first go-around that they actually they went out a year ahead of it. And they did that intentionally so that if the millage failed, then there was that opportunity to come back for it. So this is the year that we're going out for, but it will not kick in until 1 year from now.
Next year.
Yeah.
So that'd be 2027.
The collection of 2027, yes, ma'am.
Clarified for the record.
Yep.
Do we have a 5-year game plan on what we want to do each year?
So that's
Or
going
we're
to be,
not going out that far yet?
so,
Yes, sir. We, with the tech millage, we'll be bringing a proposal and discussing it on April 15th. So when the millage passes, we'll have a game plan. And we try to come up with the basic network infrastructure and classroom technology that will get us for the next 5 years. We don't want to overcommit, so as you know, we lasted out till this renewal, and then we'll do another purchase for the next 5 years.
Earlier you said, I think 1.7 million a year? 1.7. We got 1.6 in the bank right now? Or
Well-
We're receiving about 1.6.
receiving one-
It's distributed from the ISD as they receive it from the.
physical 26?
Correct.
For tech.
Yes, ma'am.
yep. Any other questions from our board? Okay. So like I said, tomorrow night, during that presentation, I'll go more in depth for you, but I want to just give a quick overview, and then, especially because we have our audience for our employees, and we'll be disseminating information to our employees so they all understand what they can and cannot do during this time right there. So that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Next on the agenda is public commentary. Brian, do we have public commentary?
We do indeed, Mr. Act. All right, until we move this position into the next century, we're gonna have a clock there. I promise we're gonna have a clock next time. David's gonna give us a clock. Because I don't wanna be doing this. Because you're not looking at me and I'm like, okay, you're not getting anything out of me. So since I'm not gonna do flashcards, I will tell you, you'll hear me go 1 minute, 30 seconds, okay? I think if anybody who was here last night knows I'm pretty flexible with the 3-minute rule. If you're making a intelligent conversation that is continuing, then I'm going to give you some slack to continue to talk. I know when I was sitting out there, sometimes 3 minutes is pretty quick. So I'm a little lenient on that. And we have some time, I think, tonight anyway, so
Yeah.
we're good. So we'll start off with Lindsay. Hopefully there's only one Lindsay here.
Yeah, I just realized I kind of jumped a little early, that this probably should wait until the SEL part. Yeah, so I
So-
apologize for putting my. name in.
It's entirely up to you if you want to speak now or you want to speak then.
I would
Have an
just wait
SEL
if that's okay.
Okay,
That way-
okay,
Thank you.
Still on there.
Sorry about that.
no problem. Sarah, do you want to speak now or? Okay. That's however you want to do it. Turn my phone on.
Good evening. My name is Sarah Sweat Ziegler. I've taught at Monroe High School my entire 24-year career. Tonight I come to you as the chief negotiator for the Monroe City Education Association, and I am also one of the individuals who helped establish the affiliated unions of Monroe Public Schools. First, I would like to clarify a statement made last night about the letter that was published on social media by the affiliated unions of MPS. Our letter stated that the Board of Education proposed cutting SEL staff and programs to help balance the budget at the February 24th meeting. As my colleague stated last night, and in the context of our letter, the word proposal means a suggestion or a plan was offered. When I listened to the recording of the 224 board meeting, Mr. Jenkins stated between minute marker 5108 and 5125, we have a $5.5 million shortfall coming up. Okay, something has to get cut. Whether we like it or not, if we can get $3.8 million just from eliminating SEL, that's almost to the $5 million we need. Something's going to get cut. At the 5205 minute marker, Mr. Jenkins states, I am going to make a motion in a moment when the discussion is over regarding this. Although a motion was not made after the discussion, we still believe these statements by Mr. Jenkins with support from Mrs. Myers were a proposal that was put on the table for discussion with the possibility of a forthcoming motion and vote. As an alternative to cutting SEL, I want to support the potential cost savings that Superintendent Shaw proposed last night. The severance pay package for certified staff and moving Orchard Center High School to MHS will allow for savings to be gained without compulsory layoffs or programming loss. While I heard and understand some people's concerns about losing seasoned teachers and administrators through the severance pay package, I would rather see people given the choice to leave and be rewarded for their years of service to the district,
1 minute.
rather than see people forced to leave and seek unemployment that our district would have to partially fund. Additionally, the move of Orchard Center High School to C Wing of Monroe High School could have a positive impact on Orchard students in the sense that they will have easier access to things like CTE and athletics without logistical challenges. It would also save in transportation costs. Moving Orchard to MHS will still maintain the separate space, academic programs, and community building opportunities that are important to Orchard students and staff. I speak for union leadership when I say that Mr. Shaw has our support in these two efforts to save the district money. We also believe that Mr. Shaw and his cabinet have put forth a lot of time and effort and thought into these two proposals. It would behoove the district if the members of the Board of Education would take the recommendation of Mr. Shaw and pass these budget measures. We trust Mr. Shaw and his cabinet have done their homework, so to speak, and you should do the same. Thank you for your time and for your service to our community.
Perfect.
Thank you.
I think it's just as a point of clarification on, I feel like we're getting into the definition of the word is here, okay? If you do an AI overview on the word proposal, it is a formal presentation. It's not, and I felt our conversation was informal, okay?
Your conversation was, I agree with that, but there was a possible motion coming forward.
But that is just conversation as a deliberative body.
Yeah.
Since my name was brought up, there's only one person that knew what that was going to be proposed.
Point of order.
And that's me.
Point of order.
Well, I felt the need to defend
I
myself.
understand.
I showed respect last night and tonight. But there was one person that knew
We
what
should
it was. and that
continue
was
to
me.
follow the rules that we've
All right,
always followed.
We are going to person number 3, Amanda. Amanda, do you want to speak at the SEL time or do you want to speak now? It's up to you. Okay, please come forward.
Hello, my name is Amanda, and I am one of the registered behavior technicians that works for our district. In the 2 years that I have been with MPS, I have worked in every single one of our elementary schools. And I just want to speak to the positive impact that our role has had on our buildings, on our classrooms, to our administrators, and to our teachers. We frequently are working with students that have both special needs and don't have special needs. Our children come from all different types of backgrounds with all different types of needs. The first student I worked with was eloping his classroom on a daily basis and getting suspended frequently. Within 3 months, we were able to implement a behavior plan for this student and get him to a better academic standing. And now 2 years later, he is in such a better place, getting good grades and becoming more academically efficient than what he could have been had he not had an RBT to help teach him coping skills. In our classrooms, we are seeing behaviors that we didn't previously see in school. I was born in the 80s. This stuff didn't happen back then, but unfortunately it is now. And when you guys are deciding whether or not you're going to keep SEL in our schools, I just want you to really think about how positive our impact has been and what it will look like if we're not there. I've seen teachers crying in hallways because they've gotten upset because they got hit by a student. I see kindergartners that flip over tables and throw chairs. If our presence is not there to be able to support the teachers, administrators, and staff that are trying to help these students, I am very worried about the safety of other students and what that'll look like for our school district in the long term, because it will result in more suspensions. It will result in kids being expelled. And that's a future that I really don't want to see in Monroe. So I just really want us to look at the big picture and not just at what's right in front of us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The last one I have is Kathy, and you can once again speak now or when we talk about SEL or whatever. Do I have a Kathy? I'm not going to try to pronounce this last name. I'll spell it. SCERCSE.
There she comes.
Can you help me? How to pronounce it? Sorry? Caesar. Thank you.
Spelled awful. It's easy to say.
It is very easy to say once you've said it. Perfect. All
I
right.
call my kids my little Caesars. They don't.
I'm having pizza tonight.
Good evening. My name is Kathy Caesar. I'm a parent here, and I'm here tonight because I really care about the kind of people that our schools help us raise, not just the grades that they're earning, but the character that they're carrying into the world with them. As a mom, I want my child to succeed academically. I also need them to know how to handle frustration, how to resolve conflict without being cruel, and to treat other people with empathy and respect. Those are vital life skills, and that's what SEL does. There's strong research showing these programs work. Data indicates that students who participated in SEL programs had achievement scores that were 11 percentage points higher on average than students who didn't participate. That same research also found improvements in social skills, attitudes towards school and classroom behavior, along with reductions in conduct problems and disruptive behavior associated with participation in those programs. SEL doesn't take away from academic learning, it supports it. When students can regulate emotions, communicate respectfully, and feel safe in their classrooms, teachers spend less time managing conflict and more time teaching. As parents, we want our children to grow into capable, compassionate adults. Schools are one of the few places where we can intentionally teach empathy, responsibility, and emotional intelligence. I respectfully ask you to please protect the social emotional learning in our schools. Supporting our children's emotional development is not an extra. It's part of preparing them to succeed in school and in life. As a project manager, I understand that budget adjustments always require hard decisions. As a mom, I am asking you to find another way, and please continue this SEL program in our schools. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Omar, if you're ready to come forward and.
Oh, got one more.
Are you ready to come forward and speak?
Oh man, hello gang. I don't envy you guys at all. So I just want to speak on the SEL stuff. First off, thank you guys for representing and sitting up there. You guys are in tough seats. But the SEL is really important due to the support that it does to the kids. One thing that I do is I volunteer for a youth job development consulting firm. I work with youth with some recurrent medical conditions, and I do this on a volunteer basis. We work with the ISD and Michigan Rehabilitation Services. And what I see is I get these kids when they're 14, 15, 16 years old, 17 years old, and we try to get them long-term placement jobs, career pathways, and they need a little special care sometimes. We all do. Myself, I have a permanent job coach. She's my wife. She job coaches me every day. She is my SEL, like, I'll be honest with you. So it's important to me. I need that in my daily life. We all need that. And so you guys, I said I don't want to envy you guys because of this. You guys are the trustees. You guys are voted to make the hard decisions. It's easy for us to sit back and say what you guys should do and how you guys should do it. But I challenge you guys to do it. That's why we all step forward. There's people who step up and they sit in elected seats all the time, and it's a hard seat. But what you guys, I know you guys see the turnout here. That is huge. The volume of the people here is overflow room back there. So this is important to the community. So I challenge you guys to please understand that, hear that, see that, and make those hard decisions. Please do not get rid of the SEL. Those services are so vital. Everybody's going to sit and tell you all of that. But I challenge you guys to find those creative ways to make this stay. It's easy to say we can't afford it, but at our house, when our money gets tight, we don't tell our kids we can't afford to feed you because those are necessities. This SEL is a necessity. We have to find ways to make those in the budget. Reach out to your community members. There are agencies that can help you guys. Like MRS is a beautiful agency. There's consultants they work with, Vessels of Compassion. Thank you. With Vessels of Compassion and different things like that, they can assist with different ways to do it. There's creative ways to find funding. Please don't give up. Please continue trying to get this SEL. It is important to the community. Everybody behind me feels that way. Value it, hear their words, reach out to whoever you guys can. My name is Omar Ferdin. They have my information. I would love to volunteer in any way I can for you guys, and I challenge you guys to please hear the community. That's my time. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I have a question. I have a question, Omar. So the groups that you represented, are they in Monroe County?
Yes, ma'am. So
I didn't catch what they were.
yeah,
So maybe if you can leave it for us.
yes, Vessels of Compassion. It is a therapy group that specializes in youth, the recurrent medical conditions. We
Okay.
partner with Michigan Rehabilitation Services. We get our referrals through the ISD, Michigan Rehabilitation Services. We also work with
Okay.
Michigan Bureau of the Blind. A bunch of cool things.
Okay.
Please, thank you guys. My information is there.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, that completes the agenda for our work session tonight. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
We have a motion to adjourn.
Support?
Support.
Show of hands? Okay, the Monroe Public Schools Board of Education work session for Tuesday, March 10th, 2026 is adjourned, and the time is 6:17. And we will reconvene at 7 PM for the board session.
Yes, we have time.